to get to where I'm at, to actually have that mindset to all of a sudden you're doing this, you need to have mentorship. You need to
Welcome
have
to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
It's all about Kevin to be effective, and it's completely different. It's completely different scenarios when you are that person. You see that you started the business, that you don't want to hire anyone, and you have that ego that you're gonna do everything, and you don't trust anyone, and this is the painful way. And on the other way, exactly what you said, the hardest thing is to hire the first people. But when you hire the first people, you will find out. For me, in my case, they were better than me at everything, to the point
Yes.
that after 2 years exactly, I arrived to the office and my manager told me, Harry, go home. We don't need you. I'm like, what? Say, we don't need you. We can run and grow this company without you. Stay at home. And I'm thinking, wow, did I make obsolete myself in my own company? What happened? Like, they sent me holiday. What is this? I didn't even understand. So what happened was a transition, Kevin. That exactly what you describing. You become effective. By being effective, you remove that person. You surrender to that ego that you are the best, that everybody had to do what you say, that you have to micromanage everyone. If you drop, I mean, let's face it, we all have ego, because if we don't have ego, we won't be entrepreneurs, because we think that we can do better. So every entrepreneur have an ego, and big ego. However, if we don't surrender to it and we become that person that you're describing, Kevin, more effective, someone that actually is humble, that start to listen to other people, that is able to release control, because for my team to run my whole company, I had to release control of several actions that they had to take by themselves without me. And I just supervise once a month. I mean, once a month they will come in to tell me what they had done. That's how it was in my property business at the end, to tell me what they're doing or what I think or what they did. That's how it was at the end. So at the end of the day, Kevin, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot to release control. It takes a lot to trust people. It takes a lot to surrender this to I'm not the genius anymore, because a lot of entrepreneurs, they go to the office, Kevin, and they're living this piece like they're the big shot, they're the big guy. They make it, oh, exactly like you said, they make all the business about themselves. And what happens is when you want to sell it, there is no value in it. Look, I have my cousin called me the other day. He has a repairs company. Look at him. Harry, you won't believe what I'm doing. And say no to clients. Say, what do you mean? He has a refurbished company. So what do you mean you say no to clients? Yeah, I'm so good that I'm involved myself with my team in every single project. And we're doing it so well that so many clients are coming, and I'm telling them, no, you have to wait, or you don't work with me, because I'm with my team working, making sure that all the jobs that we take, they are amazing. And I'm telling them, listen, number one, you never said to clients no. Number two, the more you go and work along with your team in each project, the more you devalue your company. There is no value in this, because your team doesn't know how to work without you. And he's like a little bit confused. He's thinking like I'm going to tell him, wow, well done, you made it. I said, look, what's going on? How come you're telling no to clients? So again, Kevin, but entrepreneurs, we need to learn this, because we don't know. Nobody teaches this in the school. So how you learn it?
So I'm going to go back on that one statement where you said that guy. You should ask them the question. Maybe your prices are too low. The reason why you don't have customers, or sorry, the reason why you have so many customers, your price is too low. You know what?
Maybe.
Profit is not a dirty profit is not a dirty word.
Exactly. Unless increase the prices, there is something.
Yeah, there's something going. You want to work in the business? All right, get more margin. Nothing wrong with that. You can work less, make more. So figuring which sandbox you want to play in, that's okay to get into that aspect of it, is finding out which sandbox you want to get in for a margin play. So that's where that builds off of that. So, okay, so what was that question again?
About your transition, Kevin. When you realize, when you stop, because we all been there, when you stop to say, I'm the big shot here, everybody have to say what I do, I'm going to micromanage everybody, and you have this big ego that everybody have to do what you say, and then somehow that Kevin changed, and start to become a leader, start to empower the employee, start to be a person more effective rather than, you know what, let let me release control, let me allow them to be there. I'm going to overlook, because like this I can get the most on my employees, but also I can get the most on myself, because I can focus in this little thing in my business that we create a huge difference. And you cannot do that if you are micromanaging everyone. And again, the effect that all this stress and
Right.
micromanage getting the mental health. So how you change what because
So
for me, I had to change because I couldn't handle it the other way. I couldn't operate. I was so tired.
yeah. So I run it a lot differently. So I do the things you know that you don't know. So I create companies that I don't know. Example, I'm in the spindle stairs and railings business, but I have never ever installed a railing before in my life. Okay. I have the largest railing company in Canada right now and supply and
Wow,
install.
that's very
Okay. So the
impressive.
largest, very
Very
impressive.
impressive.
And I have never ever installed a railing in my life. I have never ever turned on the machinery in the back ever in my life. As when you find out what your gifts and abilities are, your superpower, you hire the other people in too. So I've always been there as that when I've every business that I'm in, and I'm in the bar and restaurant industry too. But you don't know the bottom line. Do I know how to do
Oh my
foods?
God, this
No.
is tough one. This one is tough. Tell me about.
Right.
I used to own a restaurant. I lost 200,000.
Oh,
This is a tough business to be. My goodness, a
and we
big
have the
operation.
top. It's a bit, and ours is 16,000 square feet. It employs over
Oh
120
my God,
employees.
Kevin, what a
So
headache. My
no,
goodness.
but it's not because we've
All
got the
right.
greatest people in play. And I've never ran a restaurant, so we make sure we hire the greatest people in the world. And I always, whenever I started with as a railing company, and I started a school. I also have a school because I wrote a book, The Art of Spindle Stairs and Railings. Because why? And by the way, when I wrote the book, the idea was to get installers because as a trade, people didn't know how to get into the trade. They wouldn't share ideas. The bottom line, I was never ever a carpenter, but I knew how to get great people. So I was able to create a foundation of great growth and opportunity. So in Canada, we have a thing called the Dragon's Den, and in the United States, we call it Shark's Tank. So I
In
was,
UK, we have a Dragon's Den also. We have it in
oh
UK,
yeah, yeah. So you
London.
have it in the UK. So I,
Dragon's
I
Den
was
with
on
the
the
same name. Yeah.
yeah. So we have it here, and I was on the Dragon's Den here, and I created a fitness facility and getting into the fitness side with Spartan races, Tough Mudders, and building this. And we still to this day have the best pitch of all times on the Dragon's Den. Now, was it because,
Wow, that's very
okay,
impressive. Well done.
and was it because I was the greatest trainer? No, because I had the greatest team around me to do it. So every time that we do it, and you talked about being fast, yes, you have to go fast to market. If they're not the right people, you fire them. You get rid of them, get the best people in there. Let them do their jobs and get out of their way. For me, I can own 4, 5, 6 more companies really easy, and I don't even
This is
need to
very powerful
know.
concept. This is powerful.
Mhm.
Let them do the job and you go away.
Oh,
But people don't do
uh,
that, Kevin. Why?
because they don't know what it takes to make $100 million. The difference is they don't know what it looks like. So the difference is of $50 million in this. And you were asking, how did you get that? Well, to get to where I'm at, to actually have that mindset to all of a sudden you're doing this, you need to have mentorship. You need to have the right people that mentor you. They're not your friends, okay? They're not your family. They're not super colleagues. And there has to be what we call as a no ask. They're not there to sell you a product, sell you an idea or anything. They're there as peer to peer. And I belong to an organization called EOMYPO. And what these organizations are is peer-to-peer learning that you can actually, and I've been a member for these for about 25 years. They're like my board of directors. So anything that I'm doing, going to the next level, they help me through that versus the transition. Because we're not just going to be in business, okay? Because we have problems with our family. We have problems with growth. We have HR issues. We have cash flow crunches. We have all these other issues that may not be about growth. It may be about sustainability. What does that look like? Other people have gone through that actual approach, which is EO and YPO, these same mentors. And there's other ones out there called Tech and McKay's. So there's business groups, but there's also smaller ones with you're under the 100. When you're under $1 million, they're called, so you got your Chamber of Commerce, their networking events, which is great, peer to peer, and getting the right coaching in place to make sure that you're moving forward. Careful who get as a coach, because there's one of these things that they always say, those who can't do coach. So make sure the guy that's coaching you has money, has business, has been successful, and kind of watch that. It's kind of like your financial guy. What does he drive? How does he drive? Now he wants all this money from you, yet he doesn't drive or doesn't have money. So that's kind of a red flag. So that's where you go, okay, well, you want me to do all this, but yet you don't have that. So flags are going up. But the greatest thing about it is making sure you have the team around you and let them do your job. As Richard Branson would do with all his Virgin and with all his Virgin records, everything that he's ever done and he used to say is that let people do their job. He said, I give them everything they want, just let them go. And it's true. Let the people do their thing. They will do wonders, and you don't know you're in jail until you break out.
Actually, the people that work for Richard Branson, they're very happy. You know, they get a lot of benefits and everything.
Yeah.
He treats the employees very good. Yeah. It's one of his policies. Yeah. So
boom. Yeah. And they grow. So talk about great leadership, and you see these guys doing, but how do you do that? Because this guy has no, he's doing the same concept. If you're a one-man show or a 10 million man show or whatever that is, it's still the same. Treat people with respect and integrity, and then you don't have to work 1,000 hours. Like I said, I don't work a lot of hours. I'm busier now than I've ever been, and doing my social brand, whatever the storytelling at kevinhalliday.com, everything that I do. My name is worldwide, Kevin Halliday, Googled worldwide. I hit every brand in the world. Now, is it because I do this? No, I have great people to make sure that it's put in the right place, right context, and that I can 10 times it even better and 100 times it. What does that look like? What is that? And that's where it all comes together. And you get to see that and you go, well, that was easy. Yeah, it was harder on the first million than it is on your 20, 30 million. I'll tell you right now. So that's where the greatest gifts of the world come into play. Are you creating a job? Or are you an entrepreneur?
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.